So good morning students, how are you all? Today we are going to start our next poem for class 11th English, and you know myself Jyoti Rathore. In every video I am telling you my name, so myself Jyoti Rathore. So let us continue our lesson, our first poem, okay? Now see, for class 11th English Hornbill, we have to start our new poem, and the name of the poem is A Photograph, okay? See children, photograph is a very simple term. You all know what a photograph is, and you all know that why we are seeing these photos. Like recently, I think you remember that is a time memorable event of your life. That was our Lonavala trip. Clear? That time many of the students I had seen number of photos you had clicked. No? Even we teachers, we too were doing the same thing. Number of photos we had taken. So after that, like after 1 year or after 2 years, when we are seeing those photos, what are the things that coming into our mind? All those beautiful memories which are there with us. No? That beautiful time that we spent together with the help of photo, again we are imagining those things. Here also our poetess Shirley Toulson, she is remembering that beautiful time. No? She had spent the time with her mother. That time now she is remembering back. Clear? Because the mother, she is no more in the world. With the help of those photos only, she is remembering her mother. That beautiful time she is remembering. Now let us see what kind of imagination she has when she is remembering her mother. This is a picture of Shirley Toulson, the poetess of this poem, A Photograph. Now let me tell you some of the things related with Shirley Toulson, a short biographical part. Shirley Toulson was born on 20th May 1924 in Henley-on-Thames, England, as the daughter of Douglas Haspel Dixon and Marjorie Brown. So these are the parents of Shirley Toulson, and she was born on 20th May 1924 in London. She had a huge passion on writing and was greatly influenced by her father, who was a writer too. No? So that skill she had adopted from her father. Father was a great writer, and from her only she had adopted the trait. She secured a BA on literature from the Brookhurst College in London in the year 1953, and in 1953 she completed her BA as a literature student. Okay. Now, this is the introduction of our poem, Photograph. The poem, A Photograph, is written by Shirley Toulson. In this poem, she recalls her mother and her memories while looking at the childhood photograph when her mother was 12-year-old or so. So, in the photo she is watching there, in that photo, mother was nearly 12-year-old. No? That is an old photograph. So that was the age of mother, and now Shirley Toulson, she is watching the photo. She has been deceased 12 years ago and she cannot explain her grief on her mother's loss. But now, this time when she is watching the photo, the mother is not with the poetess. Only that grief, that loss is there, and that loss and that grief is so much for the poetess when she is watching the photo. So let us see. See children, this is our poem. The cardboard shows me how it was when the two girl cousins went paddling. Okay, this cardboard means this photo shows me how it was. No? When the two girls are there in the photograph, each one holding one of my mother's hand, and the big girl some 12 years or so. So both the girls are there, like one girl is there, another girl is there, in between mother is there. Okay, so two girls are there and my mother also there, and all are holding their hands. Now this is the description of our poem. In these lines, the poet is looking at an old photo album which is made up of cardboard. In the picture there are three girls who are walking on the beach holding each one hand. Okay, three girls are there. All three of them, they are holding their hand together and they are walking on the beach. The girl in the middle is the tallest and the oldest. Definitely this tallest and the oldest would be their elder sister or their mother. Okay, and then the other two girls on each side are younger than her. The two girls who are there along with that oldest one, the middle one, they are quite not as it is old, they are quite young. The girl in the middle is poet's mother. See, as I am telling you, maybe she is the mother, maybe she is the elder one, and now she is the poetess mother. She is around 12 years old when the picture was taken. So this lady who is the mother of poetess, she is nearly 12 years old, and during that time the photo is taken. Understood all of you? Now here children, we have a hard word, that is paddling. Paddling means walking. Okay, when we are sitting on a beach or when we are sitting in a boat, we have to paddle. Clear? So that is called as paddling here. But here they are walking on the beach, so that walking could be their paddling. Understood all of you? Okay. Now the next paragraph of our poem is, all three stood still to smile through their hair at the uncle with the camera, a sweet face. Now, see, when we are imagining ourselves on a beach, what is our condition? Our hair would not be very much combed. Clear? It could not be very good looking. It should be like rough hair we have on the beach area. So the same hair the three girls are having. And what they are doing when uncle is telling, okay, smile. So what they are doing, they are smiling. No? We do have to say na cheese, so we have to cheese in front of a camera. So all three girls, they are smiling in front of this camera. Okay, and who is holding the camera? My uncle. That is poetess uncle. Okay, now my mother, that was before I was born. So now if you just want to imagine your mother would be so pretty, would be so young. So what was the time when you were not born? Definitely after marriage, some kind of physical changes come over the body. Even on the face also, after 40, after 50, different kind of expression would be there on the face. But before marriage, at the age of 12, at the age of 13, the skin could be quite very much smooth, no, very tight. So that is there. Now, my mother, that was before I was born, and the sea which appeared to have changed less. So see, there is no change in the sea. It shows that life, even the living people, they are mortal, but sea is supposed to be immortal. Now after number of years, after 1000 years, if we see, sea would be as it is. There is no change in the sea. But within that 1000 year, number of people came upon this earth, and number of people died from this earth even. Okay, so we people supposed to be mortal one, but the sea supposed to be immortal. Wash their hair, wash their terribly transient feet. Here this terribly transient feet, here this TT, it is repeated, that is alliteration is used here. Clear? And feet could be terribly transient in the sense we people are mortal, that is why one day we have to lost ourselves, whole body we have to lose. Clear? Now let us see here, in the above line the poet describes how the photograph was taken. Okay, the poetess, she is telling us that how this photo is taken. Her mother's uncle took the photograph and told them to stop and pose. Here, whatever activities they are doing on the sea area, uncle said, just stop and pose for me. All three of them left their wet hair open and smiled at the camera. Their hair were wet simply, clear? So they were not thinking about their wet hair, they were only thinking about the camera, and now they all three are looking at the camera. The poet's attention is drawn towards his mother face, which is described as a sweet face. Now when this girl, when this poetess, Shirley Toulson, she is looking at the photo, so she is looking at mother, that how beautiful she was when this photo was taken. The photograph was taken long before the poet was born. See, as I am telling you, now this time mother and this poetess, they are not together. No? Mother was dead before so many years, but now this photo only there. So she is telling that before so many years when I was born, that time this photo is taken. The poet called their terribly transient feet as they were so young and now they had grown older. Okay, that time they were very young because it was written they were only 12 years. but now this time they are quite old. Maybe they are not there with the daughter. So that is why this terribly transient fate. It means that one day we all have to leave this world, we are mortal. On the other hand, the sea which is touching their feet, it has changed less. There is no change in the sea. It shows sea is immortal. Okay. Now, some 20-30 years later, she would laugh at the snapshot. See Betty and Dolly, she would say, and look how they dress us for the beach, the sea holiday. See children, when we are going for the sea holiday, again I am telling you the dress up would be different, the ways would be different, and how we have to enjoy near the sea area, that is totally different. We are not imagining that we are a cultured people. We have to think like we are the barbarian people. So in that way, in that wild way, we have to behave. Now here she is telling that some 20-30 years they had taken, and she is telling, see Betty and Dolly. This Betty and Dolly, they are the person, those who are holding hand of this elder one. Clear? So this Betty and Dolly, how they are dressed up for their sea holiday. Okay. Then this snapshot means photograph. This you all know. After 20-30 years later, she will laugh at the photograph. Now when this poetess, she is watching the photo, she is laughing upon the photograph. And she would tell me to look at her cousins, Betty and Dolly. Now this Betty and Dolly, they are the cousin of this mother, poetess mother, they are the cousin. And they are holding this poetess mother's hand also. And how their parents would dress all three of them for the beach. Definitely for the beach, as I am telling you, the dressing style is different. So in that different way, in that free clothes, they have to be dressed up. They would have planned to take a photo before that. Okay, and during that time they had planned that we have to take a photo. So in that way only, with the open hair, with the wet hair, with that kind of costume, they are taking the photo. Now, next line is, was her past, mine is her laughter. Okay, so was her past, that time when she was dressed up, when they had taken the photo, that was the past time. But for this time, when the girl, when the poetess, she is watching this photo, this is the time she is laughing. That is a kind of laughter for her. And both rhyme with the labored ease of loss. See, this is supposed to be the very important line of our poem, labored ease of loss. Means both sides they had loss. From my side also, from poetess side also, that is a loss. She had lost her mother, and for mother also she had lost her youth time. Understood? So for both of them, that is the labored ease of loss. And this line is supposed to be the most ironical line of our poem. Irony is there in the whole line. She is no more, but she is still having this loss. And the daughter, she is there, but still she is bearing that loss. And then, rhyme means this is ironic, mocking. Now, as I am telling you, this whole line irony is used by the poetess. The poet recalled the sea holiday was her mother's favorite movement from the past. Definitely, that time would be very memorable time, okay, when she was having this sea holiday. While the poet's favorite movement from the past was her mother's laughter. And definitely for this poetess who is watching this photo, like the mother is smiling, that smile would be the most memorable smile or the most memorable movement also. Both the women would think about those past memories which they cannot live again. Understood? So both the ladies, that beautiful time they are imagining, they are thinking, they are recalling, and that time will not come back. They tried their best to adjust to what they had lost. Okay, mother also, the daughter also. Both are adjusting that somehow we'll get that beautiful time. But I am telling you children, sweet memories, once they are gone, it will not come again. Okay, like our Lonavala trip is gone, it would not come again. Those beautiful time, those beautiful memories will not come again. Because the children, those who had already passed this 12th class, most of the children, they have taken TC, they will not come back. So those friends will not join together once again, and that time will not come back once again. So that is why whenever you are missing that time, what you have to see, you just have to see a photo, that photograph. In the same way, this poetess also, she is watching only that photo. Okay, and then now she has been dead nearly as many years as that girl lived, and for this circumstance there is nothing to say at all, only silence, silences. Now in our very last line, the poet is simply stressing upon this silence, silences. Twice she had used, there is no silences word in English, but she had used to make our line very much beautiful, very attractive, and she is simply stressing upon that silences. So here the description of these lines are, in the above line the poet says that her mother died 12 years ago. So before 12 years mother is already dead, the same age as her mother was in the photograph. Okay, so she was looking simply like that when she died also. And now whenever the poet is thinking of her mother's death, she cannot explain what effect she has on the mother's death. Nobody can imagining. Clear? Like my mother also, she died before 1 year, but as I am imagining her, she is as it is in front of me. Okay, so in this way she is telling that I can't explain, I can't have to express that what kind of effect is there of her death upon me. And now, so death has silenced her mother, which has also left her speechless. So because of this death, poetess is simply speechless, and whenever she is seeing around her, what is there? Only silence, and a deep silence, that is silence, silences. Understood all of you? So on that movement, she is feeling very distressed when the mother is no more. Only thing that make her cheerful, that is the photo in which the mother is looking so beautiful when she dressed herself for the sea holiday. Okay students, now here we have this silences, that is a complete absence of the sound. As I am telling you, this silences, when S is added in our word silence, it means a very deep silence. Nobody is there around her, only silence, silences were there. Understood all of you? So again it is a short poem written by Shirley Toulson, but children, a deep meaning. When we are losing our dear ones, what kind of emotions that are aroused in our mind, that emotions are shown with the help of these lines by the poetess. Okay student, so this is altogether our poem. I know you just like the poem. Please all of you go through the poem by heart. Now some of the things which makes our poem very much interesting, very beautiful, that also I am going to tell you. Here we have some literary devices. Literary devices, as before also I told you many times, to make poem very attractive, very beautiful, the poet or the poetess, they are using literary devices. So here we have, first one is alliteration. Alliteration, you know, that is the repetition of the sound. See, repetition of a consonant sound at the beginning of two or more consecutive words. The instance of alliteration in the poem are as follows. Now in these lines like stood, still, this SS is repeated, okay, through, there, this TT is repeated here. Now my mothers, in this M is repeated here. Terribly transient, this TT is repeated here. Silence, silences, again SS is repeated. Okay, so in among few lines, some particular consonant sound is repeated. It shows that poetess is using alliteration here. Now next one is oxymoron. Oxymoron means a term which contradicts itself. Contradicts in the sense like two words are there but having different meaning. If we are using labored and ease, labored, you know, that is very hard task to do, and ease, very easy going. So labored and ease, when they are together, it shows contradiction, and here we are having oxymoron. Okay, then one more, that is epithet. Epithet means a phrase expressing a quality of a person or something. Okay, in this case, terribly transient. This is used for person, for human. As I am telling you, a terribly transient feet. Feet, definitely we are talking about the girl's feet. And girl supposed to be the creature who is going to be dead one day. That is why this terribly transient, this is the term used for that particular human person. Okay, so in that case epithet is used. Now these are the different literary devices which makes our poem very beautiful and very interesting. So students, my kind request to all of you, just go through the poem, just go through my video, and whatever doubts you are having after watching this video, definitely it would be clear. So thank you all of you, and please keep studying. Okay.